What's up everyone? Today we're going to be installing a transmission cooler from Driveline into the Turbo Barra Territory. Stay tuned. This kit is a beast. Comes with everything you could possibly need to remote mount your cooler. Comes with plenty of hose, all your brackets, the cooler, all your fittings to go from the ZF transmission. It also comes with the bypass fitting to bypass the heater hose, and yeah, totally do away with the milk shaking problem. So we'll crawl under the car and start pulling shit apart. Now the first thing we want to be doing is jacking up the car. You can either jack it up from the left hand side, because that's where the fittings on the side of the transmission are. I'm doing a engine oil change at the same time, so I'm going to jack the whole front of the car up, jack stands on each side, and ready to go. Make sure you get it right on the cross member and go for it. Slide your jack stands under. Make sure you're sitting on the lip. Now this front part on the Territories is plastic, so I don't really like putting it on there. But back here is nice and solid. Now lower your jack so the car is sitting on your jack stands. There, stands are taking the weight. I like to leave the jack under just for added better security. Next step is to take the front bumper off, because we've got to get in there so we can put the actual trans cooler in there. So yeah, bumper off. And then now this bit. There we go. I'm just going through all the parts and instructions and that, and I've just noticed that the actual cooler is a PWR unit, so pretty happy with that. Alright, we've got our hoses onto our cooler. Just got to tighten up these clamps. And then we've got to mark out where we're going to drill our holes in this top cross brace. Alright, I already got one hole drilled. Now I've just got to mark up where the next one goes. And we will be going got the ends of our hoses. Just going to run them through along the chassis rail. I've plugged the ends just so we don't pick up any dirt or oil or crap or anything. Alright, this next bit is a little bit not difficult, just you got to get it right. It's kind of really only one way you can do it. These two go into the hose we just installed that goes to the cooler. These two screw into those, and then these go into the quick release fittings for the hoses that go from the transmission into the what's that little thing called? The heat exchanger. So we're bypassing the heat exchanger, going to the new transmission cooler. The heat exchanger looks like, oh, we're going to focus, it's that thing there. That's the thing that keeps messing up on most Barras. It runs coolant through it to help the transmission heat up, and then inside the heat exchanger corrodes, and then it mixes the coolant with the transmission fluid, called milkshaking, and we want to bypass that so we don't get that to happen. Alright, install's complete. I couldn't film doing any of the connections because there was about this much room to get my hands through, and then one from a different angle I couldn't get a camera in there. So what I did was I disconnected the two quick release hoses for the transmission, plugged them into the new cooler lines, and then I cut the two heater hoses, and then there's a little adapter that you just plug both of those into, which bypasses the heat exchanger completely. So basically we can unbolt that if I could get any tools in there, but next time I have the intake manifold off, I'll hopefully be able to throw that in the bin. But yeah, install's complete. Just got to put the bumper back on, top the transmission fluid up because we lost maybe a litre, and then coolant, probably lost about maybe 2 litres of coolant. So transmission fluid and coolant topped up, and then we'll be able to start her up and give her a run.